In continuation of the economic diversification drive of this government, Acting President Yemi Osinbajo says Nigeria remains the best investors' destination in Africa, citing the numerous opportunities available in the country as an added advantage. Osinbajo, who revealed this while addressing a group of investors from United States of America at the Presidential Villa Abuja, said, Nigeria remains the best destination that will guarantee needed return of their investment in the nearest possible time.
Anyone who doesn't invest in Africa or in Nigeria, in 10 years' time, they'll be queried by their establishments or by their businesses that you just missed out on the best possible opportunity. And you know, it's so easy to miss out on the best possible opportunity. It's so easy. So really, I mean, Nigeria is a place that's really waiting to happen, and it will happen. And that's really the point. It will happen. The truth of the matter is that any country that opens itself to free enterprise, the way that Nigeria is opening itself to free enterprise, will somehow find that it will work. And that's one of the critical things that we're bringing into this whole, into the mix.
Besides speaking on plans to further open up the power sector to ensure effective services, Osinbajo said agriculture is another huge sector the investors should tap into, noting that with developing trends around the world, the only way out for Nigeria is through private sector participation.
The only way by which this country can make the progress that it needs to make is by private sector investment, beginning with local investment. And that's why we're working so hard on making the investment climate profitable, easy for those who are doing business already. Because we believe that those who are doing business already will invariably bring in those who want to do business from outside the country and all that, foreign investments, etc. But we think that it must be private sector driven.
Speaking earlier, Executive Director and CEO of the Nigeria Export Promotion Council, Mr. Segun Awolowo, stated that lack of export is one of the major challenges facing the country.
The objective of any NEPC is to diversify the productive base of the Nigerian economy away from oil and foster a market-oriented, private sector-driven economy. But we ask ourselves about our future, and the most important thing is, what if Nigeria had no oil? And President Buhari himself stated it categorically when he challenged on and said Nigeria must start to behave as if it has no oil at all. And so we look at it. How do we survive? What else can we sell? Export to the rest of the world? What impact will this have on jobs and wealth? And how quickly can we prepare for a Nigeria without oil? I keep saying Nigeria does not have an oil price problem. What we have is a failure to export problem.
Among the investors are Nigerians in diaspora who are part of a trade delegation from Nigeria Initiative for Economic Development. Participants also used the platform to seek clarification on some government policies. From Abuja, I am Festus Ejiroge Nefife for Ben Television.
The federal government has lifted the administrative suspension on processing Pioneer Status Incentive application. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Okechukwu Enelama, who announced the release of new guidelines in Abuja, said that the action is coming after the conclusion of critical reforms of the incentive regime. The minister also announced a revamped list of pioneer industries and products, with the addition of 27 key industries and deletion of 2 industries and a biennial review of the list going forward. The minister said that review of the list of pioneer industries and products was done to bring it in line with the economic realities of Nigeria and the economic recovery and growth plan.
Today, I am pleased to announce the release of new application guidelines for the Pioneer Status Incentive. The guidelines provide information on the considerations for assessing new and extension applications, outlines the application processes and timelines, and details the obligations of beneficiaries. In addition, following a review of the list of pioneer industries and products, which was last revised in 2006, the Federal Executive Council, at its last meeting on the 2nd of August, approved a revamped list of pioneer industries and products, including the addition of 27 industries and products, the immediate deletion of the mineral oil prospecting, as it is now it's always been. It is subject to the Petroleum Profits Tax, the PPT Tax Act, rather than the Companies Income Tax Act. I formally announced a lifting of the administrative suspension on processing pioneer status incentive applications, which is really the main purpose of this gathering today. That means from now on, the processing of the applications will restart in earnest. The application guidelines and list of pioneer industries and products will be made available on both the websites of the Ministry and the Nigeria Investment Promotion Commission.
Enelama explained that this is aimed at increasing transparency and process efficiency, better articulating the expected economic benefits, and improving the federal government's ability to measure the impact of the incentives.
There was both perceived and real abuse, and the reason why we've taken a number of weeks and months to review the process, engage widely in consultation with both the private sector, tax experts, and the relevant MDAs, ministries, departments, and agencies of government, is to understand the nature of the things that went wrong and to correct them. Let me highlight just a few things that will be different going forward. By far, the most important thing is transparency. Light. When you shine the light on something, as you know, darkness flees. So our view is that, with the level of automation and the level of transparency with which this will be done now, everybody will know what's going on. Both the applicants, other stakeholders, the relevant MDAs, and I am very confident that, this, because they've not only worked hard, but they've brought a level of leadership and, frankly, competence that gives me a lot of confidence. That's one thing. The second thing is that under the Executive Order 1 of the acting president, as you know, we're also going to have to be very explicit on how long it takes to get it, and to tell people why they don't get it, when they don't get it. So my sense is that you will see much better administration and execution of the pioneer status incentive regime going forward. But obviously we will remain mindful of the past and correct any lapses that develop even as we go forward.
The Nigerian Investment Promotion Council Executive Secretary Yawande Sadiko said the reforms have brought further clarity, predictability and process efficiency to the PSI regime.
That pioneer status is an incentive granted pursuant to the Income Tax Industrial Development Act, which specifically specifies that the incentive is that the eligibility for the incentive is based on a list that is approved by the president, and the definition of pioneer relates to an industry that is not being carried on in Nigeria on a scale suitable to Nigeria's economic development, or that is not being carried on at all. We're delighted that the administrative suspension is now being lifted, and we look forward to processing applications as expediently as possible.
The new application guidelines provide information on the considerations for assessing new PSI and extension applications. It further outlines the application processes and timelines. It also details the ongoing obligations of beneficiaries. The PSI grants companies making investment in qualifying industries and products a tax holiday from the payment of company income tax for an initial period of 3 years, with the possibility of an extension for 1 or 2 additional years, or some raffle. Ben Television.
Lovely place, right?
Yes.
What's wrong? You don't look happy.
Take a look around. Why can't my hotel be like this?
I knew something was wrong, but I've got solution.
Solution? What?
Nanet.
Nanet?
Nanet offers you design solutions, building plans and construction, furnishing and equipping, financing, management, audit services, and many more services for a better hospitality business. Nanit, service with a smile.
In an effort to reposition the country on the path of sustainable economic development with irreversible indigenous industrial revolution, the federal government has inaugurated a National Consultative Committee for Competitiveness in Raw Materials and Product Development. The Minister of Science and Technology, Bonayono, while inaugurating the committee in Abuja, said the revolution will help boost local content of their country's manufacturers and service providers to cover over 50% in the short term and 80% in the long term, which he noted will create massive employment.
As a part of this, a national strategy for competitiveness in raw material and product development in the country was developed as a national developmental strategy that would reposition the country on the path of sustainable economic development with irreversible indigenous industrial revolution. All over the world, countries that paid sufficient attention to scientific research, development, and innovation emerged as great nations.
He said with the strategy, the nation would attain global competitiveness in industrial production as well as in services if properly implemented.
With this strategy, the nation will surely attain global competitiveness in industrial production as well as in services. We will then look forward to enhanced local and international confidence in made-in-Nigerian products and services. Among the unique features of this homegrown national strategy,
the minister therefore urged members of the committee to ensure the effective coordination of projects and programs. Former Minister of Women Affairs and also a one-time People's Democratic Party national women leader, Ina Siroma, says for PDP to take over power from the ruling party, the All Progressive Congress, APC, it has to take back the party back to the people, as the party has not been following the will of the people. Siroma, in an exclusive interview with Ben TV in Abuja, blamed the governors of the party for imposing candidates on the people as they are the main financiers.
We are taking this party back to the people. In fact, we are considering so many aspects of how the people can participate effectively, and one of it is the mode of choosing candidates. You have delegates system, you have what you call the option A4, you know, the way people queue and vote. All these options are being considered. Why? To avoid a situation whereby some people will sit down in a room and say, these are the people we want, whether you like it or not, because we finance this party, therefore you must do what we want. And that is not right. That is definitely not right. You cannot say because you are financing the party or you are doing so many things for the party, therefore you impose people that are not popular on the people. So these are some of the things that we are looking at, and I'm telling you, things will change. That from 1999 to 2015, we began to lose some states, from 20-something states to some 12, 13 states. And it was as a result of impunity. People, they know their rights. Nigerians know that, well, it's democracy. If you don't give me what I want, then I'll go. So that attitude of our leaders really destroyed this party. So I'm sure we have learned our lessons, and I'm sure if that recommendations are fully implemented, we are on track.
Not too long ago, the apex court in Nigeria settled a leadership dispute which had contributed to many defections by its members to other political parties. The former minister called on those who left the party during the crisis to come back, work together, and help rebuild it.
The chairman has said that there's no victor, no vanquish. It was a family affair. It's just like a polygamous home where you have the husband and then you have different wives and children, and there are about to be problems. So, as it is, we are saying that we are all sisters and brothers in this party. We should all work together. We are asking them to come back. Those people that are nursing the idea of going away, they shouldn't, because quarrels are bound to happen in any organization. We had our disagreements, and the matter has been settled, and we are pleading with them to come back. A lot of people ran away because of the division, because in fact, some of the elected people, they use that as an excuse, that if there's a division in the party, you can move to another party. But now we are one, and I think they should come back, because there's no alternative to the PDP. The PDP it is a party that has no coalition. It is a single party. It has been there. You've got any nook and cranny of this country, you'll find PDP member.
While urging the ruling party to fulfill their campaign promises to the people, the former minister said Nigerians are ready to return PDP back to power, as many are disappointed with the current situation in the country.
We cannot deny if they do something good, we say so, because that is the spirit of being fair to each other. If they did something good, we say so. If they do bad, we say no, that's not what you said you would give us. We demand, they promised us so many things, they should fulfill their promise. Otherwise, Nigerians are waiting for them. That is it. After 4 years, if you don't pass your test, you go. People are calling us from all over, even outside Nigeria. Put your party in order. We are coming back. And that is the beauty of democracy. That is choice. Nigerians decided to discard PDP for APC. And it was their right to make that choice. And now they have seen the APC. And they are now saying, oh, we want those people that left, we want them back. You understand? So it's a matter of choice. And it's good that they have seen the APC, they have seen PDP, and now they are ready to bring us back to power. And we are working seriously towards that, because that's the beauty of democracy.
In Abuja, LM Chukwemeka reports.